Today I wanted to show you some of my artworks. This channel is mainly about poetry and art, showcasing art. So I wanted to show you these as well. These works here I've done between 2016 and 2020. These are mainly mixed media and paper mosaic works. I've always been inspired by mosaics from all around the world, so I wanted to try a version over my own works but made out of paper instead of ceramic or clay. Some of them took a long while to complete, but I really enjoyed the process, so we'll probably make some more in the future. So this is the first one. This is mainly pencil color. There is some pastel as well, here in the blue area, the red and yellow areas. The white dotting and the white areas are in acrylic. You can see there's a very modest quantity of mosaic in this work. These are not made from paper. They are canvas, oil on canvas. Then I cut them out into these shapes and stuck them on. The theme in this work is discovery. This creature here is flying onto the future and seeing new layers about things, new meanings, or a different perspective, leading to new understandings. And that's it. This one is also mainly pencil color. There's a bit of black pen here and here and here. Also here for contouring these little patterns. Mosaic work is very modest on this one too. These little roses I draw, then printed onto card paper, cut them out and stuck them on. The horses I took out of a magazine, so I guess you can say this work is essentially a collage. The theme in this work is the unification of the spiritual nature in humans. The horse is one of my favorite animals, and it represents transcendence for humans. For millennia, the horse has been a very important representation of spirituality, but also strength, freedom, passion. So I guess the treasure in life lies in how we transmute these powers within us into a new awareness. And that's it. So this work here is called Venus, an homage to the goddess of beauty and love. This work is pencil color and some silver paint as well. I applied some grattage technique over the pencil here, a little bit here. There's way more mosaic work in this one, some made out of oil on canvas. There are also the roses printed on card that we saw before in the previous works. And the rest of the mosaics, the golden ones, are made out of gold star sequins. I cut around the center of the star to get a circular shape, and there are also some loop shape ones, like here, here, here. And finally a little bit of pen, black pen, for the cross patterns, in here and in here. And that's it. This one is called Ma. The inspiration for this work came from the ancient mythologies, goddess tradition. The cow belonged to the goddess Hera in Greek mythology. You have the sacred cow, for instance, in India, representing the ultimate provider of riches, nourishment, tenderness, and care. This is obviously an anthropomorphic representation of a cow. She has a human breast. Milk has always been the symbol of loving identity with all life. How can an individual grow in strength and develop appreciation without the loving care of a good mother? She's also the symbol of the cosmic mother. The Milky Way was once called Cow Lane, so the sacred mother, provider of devotion and loving kindness, but also she is the embodiment of the capacity for transformation of the mysteries. This is mostly pencil color. There's many layers of different shades of blue here for the body. The yellow has some texture, that's pastel. I drew the head onto tracing paper, cut it out and stuck it above the body. The paper mosaic in this section is only in this area, the rose bouquet, the rose symbolizing love and beauty. And that's it. This one is called Four or Four Rivers, like the Four Rivers of Eden. This one was also inspired by ancient mythologies and the goddess tradition. A lot of symbolism representing life, the cycle of life, creation and regeneration. The cosmic tree in the center is the world axis and it is the goddess. And around her are the four elements of creation, so fire, earth, water and air. The four rivers perpetually flowing out from her breasts in the forms of milk, butter, honey and wine, elixirs of transformation. As you can see, this work is mainly pencil color. Here on the left, these patterns here are pencil and silver marker. Also in this area here is silver marker. Some pastel as well, for instance here on the fire. Also some here, 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 and a little bit here. The mosaic in this work is very, very modest. There's only a little bit here, representing some olive leaves. Also the cow's ears, and in her beehive tiara here. The tip of the triangle has a little bit of pastel as well. And that's it. This one is called Vortex. This is a representation of humanity or a family getting perpetually sucked into the dreadful world of illusion. This here represents some sort of polarizing lungs, oxygenating this centrifugal force of illusion, impeding each member's connection with the true self, which is represented here in this patch of garden. The garden has these tethers floating about that were once connected to this family, ancestrally speaking. But the force of the vortex is so strong that it has taken them out of balance. They are not looking at the garden anymore. They are facing at the abyss of the vortex. So equilibrium is lost and truth is forgotten. So this work is mainly pencil color, also some felt tip pens. And this, to be honest, is one of my least favorite of them all in terms of technique. I use some black pen, not only for these bits here, but all around the whole picture, as you can see. There's some sort of circling, some doodling thing that I feel it ruined it. The mosaic is very modest in this one as well. There's only a bit here with the human figures. These are drawn on paper card, then I just cut them out, stuck them on, and same with the flowers here. And that's it. Next is this one here, called Jaguar or She Jaguar. In my home country, Mexico, the jaguar has had a lot of importance. It is one of the most loved and venerated animals due to its representation of strength and daringness and nobility and courage and so on. So there are many, many, many legends and myths that talk about the jaguar. Once it was thought that its skin represented the stars of the firmament, and I always loved that. So anyway, a few years ago, I had my Totonalsin made, which is the sacred energies of birth, similar to the concept of the natal chart, but from the perspective of the ancient cultures of Mexico, like the Toltecs, the Mayans, and the Aztecs. And so the way it worked was that when a baby was born, it was introduced into the community and it was presented to a specific shaman who was an expert in matters of the dynamics of time and the energies that manifested in every element of any specific day of the calendars. The shaman was an expert also on the sacred books, which today are called codexes. And so these sacred books, these codexes, the energies were reflected with the sidereal, terrenal, diurnal, and nocturnal companions, which manifest in the count of time. So this group of elements are the count of sacred energies of the moment of birth, the moment of a person's birth. So with this knowledge in place, it was that a specific name was assigned to the new baby in the community. And the parents were told about his or her destiny in terms of the abilities they could develop through the energies that accompanied them from birth. So anyway, when I did mine a few years ago, I was given 4 specific names, and one of them is Jaguar Woman, hence this work. And so we have the face made out of pencil color and some white jelly roll pen. These areas here are also pencil color. There's some elements made with golden and silver markers. Here. The mosaic work is much more abundant in this work, as you can see. It's all made out of recycled paper. And the rose we see here, symbol of love. So basically a woman with a jaguar spirit, loving and courageous, with wings to fly up to the stars of the firmament, just like the jaguar skin. And that's it. Next is this one called Cocoon. There's these branches of the tree holding a cocoon. There's a person inside, slowly but surely gathering the necessary energies and strength to morph into something more sublime. Not physically maybe, but more metaphysically speaking. So a theme of transformation and the process of it. So this work was made with pencil color and felt tip pens. The cocoon here is made with some tracing paper, then some card paper on top and contoured with pencil. Most mosaics are cutouts from pattern drawings I did using felt tip pens. And that's it really. This one is called Kingdom. So see the dove here made with tracing paper and some highlighting with a jelly roll pen representing the queen of the kingdom. The hand representing creation and goodwill. The mosaics are made out of different kinds of paper, and some of them I drew a little flower pattern, and these ones here. The sky, the trees, the yellow background, these areas here are pencil color. The flowers here and the stems are with felt tip pens. Underneath is also a bit of felt tip pens and recycled paper. The blue paper I took from, I think it was some gift wrapper paper. And the golden was from chocolate foil wrappers. And that's it. So this one is called Rooted. I think roots are very important. So here's a metaphorical representation of a woman seed with her roots pushing down into the soil, searching the darkness for nutriments, deep in the darkness where the gold is found. Our roots, they affect our attitude in life, affect our capacity to grow, to generate, to thrive, to creatively blossom. We all come here into this earth and we have to find a nourishing ground, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, so that we are able to materialize our gifts and give them out to the world. Equilibrium comes to mind as well, because you want roots that are strong enough to hold you. You don't want them to be loose. And at the same time, you don't want them to be so tight, so entrenched into you to hold you down. On a psychological level, roots descend to the most profound psychosomatic level in ourselves, in each of us. In the alchemical tradition, for example, the roots, the tree-like process of growth, can only truly begin from the unconscious dimension of the psyche. This in order to achieve full transformation of consciousness, to basically turn lead into gold. So the technique here is pencil color in these areas here. The mosaic's made from different kinds of paper. You can see the chocolate wrappers here again. At the top, these are cutouts from paper that I painted with some blue matte paint, then cut them out into shape. And the same with the flower here. And that's it. And the last one. This one is called Reclamation. The body of the peacock is a cutout from paper, painted with watercolor. Same process with each one of the eye spots here. And same with the child. The stems of the feathers are with a black marker with an ultra-fine tip. These areas here are pencil color. All the mosaics are from recycled paper. Some others I've drawn onto card paper, then cut them onto shape, like these flowers here, and the fish, and these ones here. The peacock symbolizes rebirth and the coming of auspicious events yet to unfold. Just as the cow, it belonged to the goddess Hera, Queen of Heaven. The cauda pavonis, the peacock's tail, is symbol of the dawning synthesis of heaven and earth. In the alchemical tradition, the peacock transmutes poison into medicine. So here's the child symbolizing humanity, and the peacock is teaching humanity to overcome difficulties, to transmute poison into medicine, to trust that auspicious events are yet to unfold for all of us, to trust in our sound minds, in our spirit of power and of love, and to turn those poisons to opportunity and to new beginnings. So the fish symbolizes the new beginnings as well. So reclamation, reclaiming our humanity. And that's it.